Before your trees wake up, you need to do this. So we outside today. Thank God we can finally be outside. Hey, Winston, I'll throw the frisbee later. Anyway, I thought I'd share what I'm working on. It's not glamorous, but it's the important stuff to get done in your garden. And this one is especially important in East Texas. I have been working on dormant oil, taking care of my fruit trees, and now is the time to do it. You get this done in February and it will pay off later. So if you've got fruit trees, listen along and get ready to get it done for your peaches, your plums, your pears, your figs, your grapevines, and you even use this on your roses. But anyway, let's talk about it. Dormant oil is a horticultural oil that you spray on your fruit trees while they're still dormant. That means you're spraying them before the leaves have come on and the buds are still asleep. So the quick and easy of this is dormant just means the leaves haven't come back on for the spring yet. The flower buds hadn't bloomed yet, but you use horticultural oil. You use it to help with things like scale, mites, aphids, and their eggs on your fruit trees. So if you've ever seen your peach or your plum and you've got these little bites in it, right? It probably came from some little bugs, and this helps a whole lot with that. So dormant oil is not a poison. It works on those bugs by suffocating them. So essentially, it just covers them up and gets the job done. It'll make your life so much easier. And in East Texas right now is the sweet spot. So you do horticultural oil. Well, you do dormant oil when the temperature is between 45 and 70 degrees. Once it gets over 70 degrees, you don't want to spray this stuff on your fruit trees. It's just too hot to have that on your trees. You also want to do it when you got a day and there's not a freeze coming. So if it's supposed to freeze tomorrow, you don't use the dormant oil, which makes now perfect. Also, if your tree is already leafed out, you're too late for dormant oil. There's another strategy we'll give you for that. And we'll go over that once we get a little bit further in the season. The next part of dormant oil on your fruit trees is the application process. And I tell people this with all of your insecticides that you might be using, whether they're organic or not organic or whatever you want to call them in between. With insecticides, the most important thing is to read these instructions. If you aren't going to take the time to read the instructions, skip the horticultural oil. And I'm not being funny when I say that. Even though I love the jokes about seasoning your plants, when you start using insecticides, you need to follow the directions for a lot of reasons. One of them is when you start putting these chemicals, these organic mixtures and oils in your plants, it will mess with your soil. You'll have too salty a soil. You will have jacked up your soil. And that's one of the most important things when it comes to your plants. So take the time, read the instructions. Most dormant oils, the instructions are going to tell you somewhere between 2 and 4 tablespoons of the oil per gallon of water. But you're going to want to read this because the concentration for a peach tree is a little bit different than the concentration for figs, and that's a little bit different for what you do on roses. So take the time and read the instructions on here. A couple of things that you're going to need, and I am a girl who takes it easy on some stuff. Now we have sprayers that are way heavier than this half a gallon baby, but I spray my trees a half gallon at a time because heavy stuff drives me crazy. So I use a combination of this sprayer, and then my favorite sprayer is this little handheld where you change the knob on the top to get out the amount of water per gallon. I love that. When you spray your trees, you're not going to miss them lightly, right? This isn't some like handy dandy, just put a little bit on there. With dormant oil, you're going to spray them down. You're going to wash them down. You're going to spray them until the point that they're dripping, right? And you're going to want to spray the trunk. You're going to want to spray the branches. You're going to want to spray underneath the leaves. Not the leaves, because ain't no leaves on this thing yet, but you're going to spray underneath the limbs. You want to get every crevice where those little bugs and their little eggs might be living. And you want that oil dripping off your tree. I'm going to show you what it looks like on mine in a minute, but think coverage, don't think cute. You want this thing thoroughly covered You don't want to be cute with it. Now you can take your pictures looking cute, but when you spray this, you want to get it on there and get a bunch of it on there. And then before I show you exactly what I do, here's what you don't do. You don't spray it when it's below freezing. You don't spray it when you've got rain coming. If it's about to rain, you need to wait. And then you don't spray this when the temperature is going to be above 75 degrees. One other thing, you don't want to mix this with like sulfur based products, because if you mix it with sulfur based products, you are going to burn your plant. So I'm going to show you how this gets done. I'm going to show you the drip drip on my trees. So let's walk through my little mini orchard, micro orchard, we might call it first. So this first tree we have here is a Fiji apple tree. And then coming up next, well, let's make a detour. I have my grapevines. They're all cut back. A pear tree. You see that good cutting on there? That's how it's supposed to be done. We've got another apple tree. That one needs to be cut. We've got a little bitty fig start hiding out back here. And then we've got the queen, my plum tree. That's heaven right there, that plum tree. Back further, we've got a peach tree. And then we've got the start of another little plum tree. And all of these need to be sprayed with dormant oil. So that's what we're going to do. So I got my gloves, I got my goggles, I got my oil. Let's go. You want it dripping off, right? That means you can't mess around with it. So dormant oil in February is one of the simple ways to make a big impact in your garden and to reduce that insect pressure later on in the season. It's one of those quiet things that gardeners have to do behind the scenes so that they can be rocking when the spring and the summer roll around. It's going to give you healthier trees, less pests on your fruit, and less stress later down the road. So dormant oil is February. I could be doing all kinds of stuff, but this is worth the work. Happy gardening, y'all.